know it's bad for me. I love the good Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper.
That was college days for me.
Yeah.
I was Mountain Dew Cold Red.
Baja Blast.
Cappuccino. I was like completely addicted to caffeine at that point, and my skin was awful. I broke out in hives. Like, I completely wasn't supposed. I didn't know, of course, back then what was happening. I'm like, what's wrong? But yeah, I lived that.
Yeah, so
was it good though when it hit? When you really drink it and you're in it, it just hit. You're like,
Yeah, because like now where we are, if you were thirsty, like just got to running 4 miles, you got the house, you needed something to quench your thirst. Now a soda would be the opposite of what you need. Like as soon as you believe, like, I don't know, I want this. But back then, that soda would quench that and hit the back of that tongue.
Yes.
That's it right there. That's it. Yeah. Back in the day, man.
It's so true.
Back in the day. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Back in the day when I was young and not a kid anymore. I can't eat shit. Hello, and welcome back to I Can't Eat Shit podcast. I'm your host, actress, comedian Shondalia White. And yeah, people, I can't eat shit, and you know that shit is annoying. I started I Can't Eat Shit podcast because I was secretly ill for many years. People asked me a lot of questions about it, so now I'm healed and ready to talk about it. You can hear all about my solo journey in season 1. But for season 2, I'm bringing in my friends and experts to help me talk about this stuff. And today, I have the very talented friend of mine who is an actor, comedian, content creator, podcaster, host. He's everything. Tahir Moore. And we'll be talking about diverticulitis, Ozempic, the diet, and a new lifestyle. So let's get into it. Tahir.
What up? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to live my life.
Thank you for being on the podcast. I am so excited to talk about all this stuff because you have a lot going on. And just so the audience knows, I know Tahir from the comedy world, and he also was my old neighbor and a fellow Piscean. Gang.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to have you on the podcast today because you have always been a foodie, but usually it was very, very unhealthy.
Yes.
And you have since completely changed your lifestyle and diet. So I was like, oh my gosh, you would be the perfect person to have on a podcast because this is what it's all about. And I know you're living with diverticulitis and you're taking Ozempic, right?
Yes.
So let's just jump right in. There are some studies that say Ozempic may increase the development of diverticulitis. Is that what happened to you in this case, or did you develop diverticulitis first?
Absolutely developed it first. I had diverticulitis. I found out I had it, I want to say, actually during the pandemic. I was actually Zooming with the homies one time, and I just had this gut-wrenching pain in my stomach. At first I thought it was gas or what, but after a while, I couldn't take it any longer, so my wife went with me to the hospital, and they did some X-rays, and they put the ink in my blood, and they did the X-ray that way, and that's how they were able to determine that I had diverticulitis.
Wow! So how was it before? Like, what made you go get checked for diverticulitis then?
I didn't know. I had never heard of diverticulitis before I was diagnosed with it. Again, I thought it was gas. I was like, man, I really... Because, sometimes gas, it'll bubble up on your side. I'm thinking it's the gas. I'm like, man, I'm either slept wrong or this gas it's different. But that's when they ran all the tests. They sent me to 2 different facilities, and they did the ink or the dye with the X-ray, and that's how they were able to determine it with some other, I think, maybe blood test. And the first year I was diagnosed with it, I had 2 flare-ups. And then the year after that, I think I might have had 2. And then from that point on, it's just been 1, if that. Like this year, thankfully, obviously it's 2025. I haven't had any, but I don't think I don't know if I had it. I know I had 1 last year, right? Yeah, because I was supposed to go to dinner with a buddy that do the impersonations. So I only had 1. So thankfully, I've only been having like 1 per year, if that. And
Oh,
typically,
okay.
I see the signs really early. I get the same pain in the same place, and I call my doctor and ask him to fulfill the prescription, and I go pick it up and catch it before it gets too bad.
What makes it flare up then? Because you said sometimes it'll just flare up and you just have to go in.
Yeah, I wish I knew. There still isn't enough
Oh.
data and research on diverticulitis to know what really causes it. When I was first diagnosed with it, they told me grains, nuts, spicy food, to stay away from all of that. But since then, has just been a couple of years, they've come out and said that that's not directly correlated to it. So I have no idea. I don't know what flares it up. I don't know what makes people get it. It's just one of those things,
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you get Ozempic then?
Oh, I wanted Ozempic because I wanted to take my shirt off. It's clear cut. I have been struggling with my weight since college, realistically, and I've done multiple diets, multiple fads. I've had multiple trainers, and when I had those trainers, and I was, committed to a certain diet, I definitely made progress, but I've never been able to make the progress that I have with Ozempic when I was trying to do it on my own. Because as a a touring comic, you're doing great when you're in town. But if it ever picks up and you're doing 2 tours in one, or one tour, the following tour is more taxing than the previous one, where you fall out of your schedule, your routine for 2 weeks. That's all it takes. It takes 21 days to make a habit. It takes a full week to break it. And if
Right.
I miss 2 weeks, I'm out of there. So I had outfits that I had bought. I knew I couldn't fit, but I'm like, oh, when I lose this 15, and that 15 turned 20, 20, 30, 30. And, before I knew it, I was holding my breath to tie my shoes. And I was like, well, this is a problem.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I wore it well, but I was 260 at my heaviest. Actually, no. At my heaviest, I think I might have been like 265. Yeah.
Jeez. So did you have any because Ozempic is actually a medication for diabetes. It's
Right.
for type 2 diabetes
Mm-hmm.
and obesity. So were you considered obese?
I was
Or
obese
did you
for my
have
height.
or did you have like diabetes or both?
Yeah, so I wasn't pre-diabetic, but I was
Okay.
obese for my height. And there were a couple times when I got my fluids, my lab done for my fluids, and there were a couple times where my sugars was kind of high. Not high enough to necessarily administer anything, but it was like, you need to get this under control. And so, I had tried this other thing called, what was this? Sildenafil? What was the one I had to take when I was eating my food? I can't remember it. Metformin. I had tried metformin, and that was supposed to, help with my cravings and stuff like that. But you have to take that right before you start eating, or while you're eating, or it'll mess your stomach up. And so I was dealing with bouts of nausea with that, and I wasn't seeing any progress. And again, I would start working out with a different trainer, but life happens. So it wasn't until I got Ozempic that I was able to like really find a rhythm and actually stick with something, because the results were being seen pretty early.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're happy with Ozempic?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm the
wow. And you
poster
look
child.
great.
Thank you. Since I started to now, which has been 4 months, I've lost 54 pounds.
Oh my
Somewhere around there.
gosh.
Yeah.
Now, are there any serious side effects that you have specifically experienced with you taking Ozempic, or no?
Thankfully not.
Okay.
I've definitely talked to people who get the nausea. I've talked to some people that said they had brain fog with it, and I definitely did my research. But again, I was one of those
Get
people where I
brain
felt like,
fog with
yeah,
smoking weed or anything else. Like, people
yeah.
get that with anything.
I definitely read all the articles that I could get my hands on, so I was aware of certain risks. But I also I really wanted to get a handle on my weight and get control of it. And so I made the decision, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it all the way right. So, cut out a lot of the food that I was eating, cut out all carbs, cut out all sugars, outside of like my coffee creamer. And it's really, really changed my diet dramatically. Like, drastically, I changed my diet, rather.
So you still eat meat,
Yes.
and you do like occasional dairy is what I'm hearing, or do you do a non-dairy creamer?
No, I do dairy cream. Well, I do
Okay.
almond milk. It just
Okay.
has sugars in it. So that's what I was saying also. The dairy that I really do is really just cheese for the most part. Yeah, and that would be very hard for me to let go. So it's mainly like a keto diet without all the heavy fats, I guess.
Yeah, I am currently, my uh acupuncturist had me kind of do a temporary keto diet so I could see a little spike in my insulin.
Mm.
And it is a because I already can't eat anything right now. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, so I was
Yeah.
crying. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, not again,
Mm-hmm.
So, and like maintaining something like that, it's actually pretty
Yeah.
tough, but it's because sugar is in everything.
Everything.
It is not because I need sugar all the time. It's just that they put sugar unnecessarily in everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy because once you do start eating clean or eating cleaner, when you have something that has a lot of sugar in it, and you've already like your body and your taste buds have been reprogrammed. Once you taste something with a lot of sugar, you're like, I can't.
It's too much.
One time I just need to get this taste out of my mouth. I'm just buy. It was a new flavor of something. I don't know if it was Dr. Pepper or something. And I cut out sodas. That was one of the things I did. But I was like, I just want to taste this new thing. Like, I saw it. I was like, I'm going to try it. And I tasted the soda. It's like maybe like a week and a half ago. I tasted the soda, and it was like syrup.
Yep. It's like rock candy.
That's how my mouth processed it. I was like, I couldn't even swallow it. I spit it out and poured the can out right there, crushed it up, and I just took it to where I was hitting and threw it away. But I couldn't even just try it to tell you I didn't like. It was bad.
Isn't that crazy? How quickly your taste buds change, where you're just like, heck no, I don't want that. Even though we shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Should not have. Yeah, absolutely. Soda's horrible. Soda is horrible.
Still, it's like, oh, now you really can feel the effects of how awful it is. It's just, that's insane.
No, it is. Because I as much as I know it's bad for me, I love the good Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper.
That was college days for me.
Yeah.
I was Mountain Dew Cold Red.
I like
cappuccino. I was like completely addicted to caffeine at that point, and my skin was awful. I broke out in hives. Like,
damn.
I completely wasn't supposed. I didn't know, of course, back then what was happening. I'm like, what's wrong? But. But yeah, I lived that.
Yeah,
was it good though when it hit? When you really drink it and you're in it, it just hit. You're like,
Yeah, because like now where we are, if you were thirsty, like just got through running 4 miles, you got in the house, you needed something to quench your thirst. Now a soda would be the opposite of what you need. Like as soon as you believe, like, I don't know, I want this. But back then, that soda would quench that and hit the back of that tongue.
Yes.
That's it right there. That's it. Yeah. Back in the day, man.
It's so true.
Back in the day.
Oh man, back in the day when I was young and not a kid anymore.
But you know what? Cutting out the soda actually helped me with a lot of other foods because I'd already made up my mind I wasn't going to do like burgers, pizza, all that stuff, my favorite foods. But because I enjoy having those meals with the soda, if I'm doing cold turkey on this, and I have to do cold turkey on that because it ain't going to hit the same for me without that. So I had to allow myself time to reprogram my taste buds. And like even with the burgers, because I don't eat bread now. My wife, I sent her a couple recipes for how to make this cabbage bread, and so she'll take the shredder and get the cabbage and take the shredded cabbage, put it in a bowl, whip it with an egg, and it'll get it foamy, and then she'll fry that in a skillet with some Pam. Take it out after it's browned on both sides, put it on a grate, put that in the refrigerator for a couple hours, let it cool down, and then she puts those in a Ziploc bag, and I use those for sandwiches, I use it for tacos, I do whatever, but it's a great way to still enjoy the sandwiches, burgers or tacos without having the carb intake.
Yeah.
Or even if you have a yeast intake, this is a great alternative for that. So that's one of the things that I started implementing. But, again, having my wife on board and having her see how dedicated I was and her support me in that, because when I tell you I've tried this so many times to the point where my wife is like, okay, let's try it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But this time it was so different, and the change was pretty quick. So she saw how serious I was, so she got on board with my diet, and really has just been helping me tremendously stay on point with it.
Wow, that is fantastic. First of all, I want that recipe so I can try
Oh
it.
yeah, I got you.
Yes. And I'll make sure I link it for people when we'll do it. And there's another way to do that, because that's a great one. I've never done anything like that. And I can't do a lot of cabbage because those kind of like cabbage and like broccoli and stuff like that, it gives me, oh my gosh, it gives me like the worst bloating.
Damn, Shondalia, you really can't eat shit.
I know.
Are you hearing this? Leafy greens, girl.
It's like cauliflower. It is broccoli. They're called like some type of cash fruit. I can't remember the term. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. But it's a term for
hamster pellets. Get you some lemon pepper and some hamster pellets.
I can't do pepper. See here, I'm struggling over here. I can eat meat though, so at least I can do that. I can.
So you're on a carnivore diet.
Yeah, I literally and no, I don't. I can't. I don't do gluten. I don't do, because I have a celiac gene. I can't do like peppers though. Not even just the hot ones. It's like sweet peppers. I love. Peppers, yeah, I can't do it. Peppers. Can't do it. Okay, Inflammation City.
So you can do meats.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do grains like?
Yeah.
Couscous, quinoa, all of that?
Not couscous, because couscous is technically more of like, if I'm not mistaken, I think that has gluten in it. Yeah, so, but I can do quinoa.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I do a lot. I usually do like too.
Brown rice.
Mm-hmm. So you can do some rice. So like
wild rice.
Would Mediterranean be a go-to? Like if you're out, just minus the peppers?
You know what? A lot of times it is, because they tend to just naturally cook more towards what I can tolerate with, like, it's more herb based.
Yeah.
But you gotta watch it, because with Middle Eastern food, they'll add tomatoes in things, and I can't.
And you can't have tomatoes?
No.
I was just about to put you on. I don't know if you are familiar with Spitz, but me and White, that's one of our go-tos.
No, I don't know, but I'll look at the menu. Send it to me. I'm always looking. I'm trying to find places I can go. I don't go out very much because I can't eat anything. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, and I'm starving, and I like to eat. So that's literally why I started There's Another Way to Do That, like the cooking segment, because people were like, what in the hell do you eat then? And I was like, I literally had to relearn, kind of like what you were saying, but it was just for my restrictions. And oh my gosh, it took a long time. How long did it take you?
To
convert, like to relearn.
With diverticulitis or Ozempic?
How to eat, or was it two different eating things, like with each thing?
With diverticulitis, it was really just cutting out like grains and spicy food. However, I didn't do that all the time, and now I will have some spicy if I want it, because like that evidence was proven false. With the diet, it was basically immediately. Like my health advisor was like, "Hey, take this weekend to go crazy. Eat everything you want to on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You started." And so I did that. I went crazy. I got lemon pepper, not lemon pepper. I got Wingstop wings and Pizza Hut pizza, and I went crazy Friday, Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Sunday, cold turkey, only water, unsweetened tea, sparkling water, and then the diet. no carbs, no sugars, no fried foods, no not just leafy vegetables, quinoa, ground beef and ground turkey and baked chicken. That was it. Like I didn't vary from that at all. And almonds, I eat a lot of almonds. Like that's
Yeah,
my snack.
I
That
love
and fruit.
almonds.
So that's basically it. And
Oh,
when I
that's
go out, like
fantastic.
I just finding clean places or places that I can eat really quick when I want to go. Like El Pollo Loco is a good one for me. I'll just get like a half a chicken and I'll get some veggies, like some steamed veggies, and that's good. And then once I got up in the dosage on my Ozempic, it changed how much I could eat. Before it did, I
Mm.
started implementing how much I would eat. Like if I'm just eating lunch, I would eat like 2 legs of chicken and some steamed vegetables and maybe some quinoa, but it also could just be that. Like, and then
Mm-hmm.
it got to a point where, like for breakfast, I used to be able to have like 3 eggs, cheese, and maybe 2 proteins. Now, sometimes breakfast, once that dosage changed for me, I was doing like maybe an egg and a half and 1.5 pieces of bacon. That's all I could
Okay.
do. So I'm like
Wow.
after 4 or 5 bites, I'm done with whatever I'm eating, which was
Dang.
so crazy because I'm Captain Clean Your Plate. Like that was
Wow.
completely changed for me.
It's a suppressant then. Like it'll just like make it so you aren't hungry.
It can do that. Well, it allows you to eat till your stomach is full, like the
Oh,
actual full, like the size of a golf ball full,
I
and
got
then
you.
it's like, nope, we're good. Like I'm talking about mid bite. I'm like, this is this will be leftovers.
Oh wow.
Mid
It's like
bite, I
going
was
over
like,
to Europe or something. They give you that little bit of food. You like, where the rest of the food? And
yeah,
now that's like enough.
yeah, and
Wow.
like the more I like are living this lifestyle and change up my eating habits, the more I think about eating habits in other countries, like a lot of Asian countries, like they don't eat a whole lot and
Mm-hmm.
they stay small and they
Yep.
have crazy years with life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like Asians will be doing average 85. I'd be like, bro, it's got to be connected to the diet because once you
Oh, of
realize how
course.
powerful your diet is and how it sets you up for so many things, you're like, oh, yeah, I was wilding. I was
Yeah.
wilding for years. So,
And they actually are very active too.
a lot
Even
of
the
walking, a lot of
seniors are
stretching.
very active, and I actually do eat a lot of Japanese food when
Mm,
I'm out. Like I tend to go steer towards Japanese food
hmm
because it just that's another line of food that it just kind of hits my diet where most of the
Perfect.
time I could just eat it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't really
perfect.
have to adjust much of it. So I'm usually like you said, the Mediterranean or Middle Eastern food or
I
like
get
the
it.
Japanese food, and that's pretty.
That's
It's
enough.
not too much stuff. I'm like, I'm still trying to find stuff, but yeah.
Hmm
Okay, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Cool.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I wanted to ask you, has any of this caused you mental health issues? Like, have you had, you know what I mean? Because I know when I was changing my diet, like, it literally, it's a mental health thing. You really, really have to work on your mind. And sometimes it can just flare up conditions or hormone imbalances or everything. So I wanted to ask you that. Did it affect your mental health at all?
That's such a good question because so many people who haven't gone through this don't even think about that aspect. I never thought about how losing weight would affect me mentally. But after you've seen yourself for so long as one way, seeing yourself as something different, clothes fitting different, clothes not fitting at all, I had to get rid of 80% of my wardrobe. About 80% of my wardrobe during a time when we were moving and all of our finances were going toward this move.
Mm,
Also during a time where, it's slow in the industry. I'm currently not on tour. The holidays are right around the corner. So I
mm-hmm.
don't have all this money to buy new clothes. But thankfully, I have a lot of friends with dope brands who seeded me with stuff and really blessed me. But even after that, seeing myself in these clothes that are smaller than I'm used to, or they fit different than they used to. Like
Mm-hmm.
a couple, maybe the last week or a week and a half ago, I went in and asked my wife, how does this look on me? And I've done this multiple times. Usually it's just like, oh, maybe those shoes, maybe those shoes. And she was just like, you've worn that before. Like, what's the problem? And I had mentioned it to her before, but like it was kind of in passing. But I'm dealing with body dysmorphia now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything looks weirdly big and oddly shaped on me. I feel like nothing looks good on me. I did a get ready with me as a joke, and I was really trying to talk about this product called Mind Minds, like mind your business as you go throughout the day. But I got so much positive feedback from that. I started like leaning into it so I could convince myself and find my confidence. Because when I was bigger, I had the confidence. You wouldn't tell me I was swaggy. I was swaggy for a big guy. But now that I'm small and I feel like my clothes are swallowing me, I have to build it back up. I have to reprogram my eyes at accepting this is me. It's this image in the mirror. And it has messed with me. Like I have to honestly admit it. It has. I'm very excited about where I'm at physically and how I look, but it's so different, and I don't know. It just messed with me. I feel like I don't look right in the clothes that I have. Like I had got to a point where I knew how tight I liked my pants, and I knew where I liked them tapered, and how I wanted to get them tailored. And I could take one pair of pants that had already been tailored to my tailor and get him to do that for any new pair of pants. So I get all of my pants tailored, especially like the hemming, because I'm really like a true 28. So that 30 still is a little big on your boy.
Yeah.
And now, even pants that I had tailored before don't fit. I have to go get retailing or just throw things away. And, things that have been tapered look crazy on me because my legs are so small that it just looks like makes me look like a muffin. These little legs and then this big heavy crotch area.
It's like a muffin.
And it's crazy. I didn't realize that it would affect me like that, but it definitely did. It definitely had an impact on me mentally.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people think about the mental toll any sort of weight having, even if you're slim or if you're a little bit heavier or you're in the middle of losing things and your body is completely changing, or you're gaining and your body is completely changing. You definitely go through some mental health stuff. So I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that, because it's definitely a personal thing. And I think everyone can relate to something like that, especially if you're doing this. It's a ride, and people say stuff, or I've definitely been on the receiving end of people saying stuff about my weight when it's been like this, and you're like, oh my gosh, they have no idea I'm over here struggling. You know what I mean? So that's good. Do you feel like you're okay now? Like, or are you still, you're in the middle of it, because this is fairly new?
I'm much better.
Okay, good.
Definitely getting a better handle on it. But it's like, before I lost weight, I like clothes that were, regular, straight leg and regular fit. I didn't want it too baggy because I already felt like they were big. So baggy would make me look humongous. Now I can wear things. This shirt is made to be an overshirt, and without an undershirt under it, it looks super baggy on me. So when I first tried it on, I told my wife, I'm like, it's too big. Like, it's just swallowing. I literally started panicking. She was like, that's an overshirt. It's meant to be worn with something heavy underneath it. It's going to take up that space. And I had to calm myself down and try a couple options, and then it's different. I never could wear something this baggy because it would have been so big in my mind. I never would have tried it. And this brand makes like these pants, and they sent me a lot of the pants. Ooh, the pants are like super baggy cargo, but they fit really well. But it just was so weird seeing me in this and accepting like, no, this is okay for you. It just it really threw me off. It really threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you again for sharing that. That's just, I think someone can benefit from that, and they won't feel alone, because we're all about a togetherness on here.
Yeah, it's community, baby.
We in this fight together. Well, we're in LA, where Cinco de Mayo is huge.
Yeah.
And do you celebrate, or is there like a favorite dish you like around that time, or drinks?
Man,
are you still drinking? Can you do
I drink sparingly. I actually can't drink too much. I don't like the way it makes me feel anymore. But also with the medicine, you can definitely experience like some nausea or vertigo the next day if you drink too much. And alcohol is just empty calories. Like even like I've switched to just clear liquor, so vodka, but mainly Blanco tequila. But even that is sugar.
Yep.
It's, Blanco's probably the least amount of sugar, but it's still sugar. And then you start thinking about, like, people use vodka for a cleaning agent. Like, why am I putting this in my body? So I'm just like,
right.
I cut back a lot. There are times when I will indulge just be celebrating something, but definitely pull back a lot. Mexican food is probably me and my wife's favorite. I think she might like Mediterranean more than Mexican. Mexican more. Mexican are both of our favorites because there's so many options, right?
Yeah.
But now that I can't have rice, I can't have tortillas. She did find me a 0-carb tortilla.
Okay.
But I don't do a lot of those.
Is it by Siete?
Yeah, so it's the regular.
I think it was Mission.
The Mission.
Oh, Mission has one.
It's a brand called Mission.
Yeah, it's a brand called Mission. She said. So, but I don't know how true that is, and I don't want to. I can't chance it.
You don't want to play around.
I don't want to start liking this, and then I'm picking up and I'm like, "What's going on?" And it's like, "Oh, they lied to me." So I do those sparingly. We actually only have bought those once, because I just don't want to get too addicted to it, and it's a slippery slope with me. So for me, just keeping that discipline is way better than chancing it. So now I'm more with like bowls. Or if she'll do a Mexican dish or something Mexican inspired at home, she'll just give me the quinoa instead of the rice.
Yeah.
So, finding those workarounds has been instrumental in not getting defeated or getting down. Like, man, I can't even eat this stuff now. Yeah, I love to play, but because food is very near and dear to us, not just as Black people, but as humans. But like, especially people of color, when we grew up on certain meals, soul food, a lot of seasoning, and a lot of rice and mashed potatoes, cornbread, all of that. Giving that up sometimes kind of feels like we're turning our back on the culture, like to a certain degree. Like, and it's also comfort food. So like when you're having a bad day, not saying that like that was even right, eating food when you're down and stuff like that, but it did have a way of making us feel better. Or if you're with the way the world is right now, like sometimes food could be the glue to bring people together when they are down. So like feeling like you had to leave all of that. It was kind of scary, but
sure.
It's been amazing finding the workarounds. Instead of fried chicken, the baked chicken, the quinoa instead of the rice. I can do some grits instead of like mashed potatoes, and because I grew up a sweet grit person. I'm from the Midwest. We put butter and sugar on ours. So, but now I'm more of a sultry grit person.
Yeah, I got you.
Savory. Sorry.
Yep, that's all right.
It's that sultry. I was talking about a lady of the night.
He like, I love sultry grits,
slutty grits.
On Cinco de Mayo.
Savory grits. Yeah, I like the savory grits. Yeah.
So modified Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So I have to, and to bring it full circle, it's a modified Cinco, and I observe it, but I'm not really going nowhere. We used to love tacos when we first moved out here, and now we're just like, oh, people, this is gonna be people. Nah, we'll just order in.
We good.
Yeah,
I'm the same way.
Because the food will be good, but you can't predict what people gonna do. It might be asshole energy. Now it's like, I can't even enjoy this talking away because this guy's talking so loud.
Yes,
so.
That's so, and germs. Oh
yeah,
I
germs.
Can't. I can't.
Especially if they got like a lime bar and a pico bar. Like everybody just going up there. You see somebody do this before they grab the thing.
No.
Like, oh, okay. Well, me. Huh?
Anything that's buffet style, I'm out. I'm not doing it. I'm not sharing with y'all. Y'all trifling people. I ain't sharing with you. You gonna see a whole other side of Shondalia.
Oh, I would love to see it once, but like I would want to see it from like a distance, like looking over the bushes, like, oh my God,
I can't stand it. You know why? Because I got scarred at an early age. I had a girl in my, it was like when I was in elementary school, we were on a bus and she was always sick. And I was like, and one day I had to sit next to her on a bus and she's like, she did that, and she's like, and when she talked, she spit. And I was just like, so ever since, I'm just looking, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. I completely agree. Can't do it.
It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2 more things before we move on to the next segment. Okay. Are you a Star Wars fan?
I am.
Oh, okay. So do you celebrate Star Wars
May
Day?
the 4th be with you.
Hey, now, yes. Do you do anything specific for it? Like,
absolutely not. I'm not that big of a fan.
You're not
I
that
just know what it
dedicated.
is. I observe it. I'll post a couple memes in solidarity. I'm not dressing up like nothing.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
definitely not going to Disney. Okay. I have not been to Disney since shortly after I moved out here in 2009. My wife and my daughter, I think they've been once, and they wanted to go more times. And I was like, you guys should. You should definitely go.
You're like, go ahead.
You
Have
should.
fun.
I don't like people in access like that.
Are you serious about not liking people?
Oh yeah.
You're like not large groups, no amusement parks.
And what's worse than people are little people, kids, babies, them. Oh,
Little people. The little babies. They
put
having
some
a good
fried chicken
time
in
to
my mouth.
hear.
Put fried chicken, spicy fried chicken with habanero or ghost peppers. I'd rather do that knowing it's going to destroy me than spend 30 minutes at Disney.
With the babies. May the fourth be with you. We're going to go ahead and move to the next segment. Do you have any advice for anybody dealing with or diverticulitis or taking Ozempic or anything like that?
Diverticulitis is one of those things where you just kind of have to always be looking for new sources of information, new research, new results, because as I said, that they told me one thing 4 years ago and that has completely changed. So you just, it's one of those things where it's not enough people where they have that have it for them to invest a whole lot of money for research into it. But also, as always, with most things that are health related, a clean diet really helps. So, anything that you can cut out that doesn't help and it's not making you feel good, and you've been doing it in excess, let's try to cut that down to half. And then eventually you can get to a point where you don't need that at all, or you're doing it like maybe once every quarter. With Ozempic, I would tell everybody the same thing as far as do your own research. Talk to your doctor, get a second opinion, and also talking to a health advisor. And realize that Ozempic does a really big part of it, but not all of it. If you want to see the best results, change your diet, change your drinking habits, and then take Ozempic. Do not go to the gym immediately, because muscle weighs more than fat. And so, whereas most people are going to start losing anywhere between 2 to 4 pounds a week, you will be turning your muscle into fat, and you may lose 1 pound 1 week, no pounds the next week, go up a pound the week after that. It's because you're doing all that hard work. If you want to be active, I recommend what I was doing: walk. You can start 1 mile a day, then up to 2. I try to do 4 miles every time I do a walk, and I try to walk 3 to 4 times a week if time permits. That right there, in conjunction with the diet and the Ozempic, you will see amazing results if it's right for you.
You heard it here. Let's move on to There's Another Way to Do That. This segment is called There's Another Way to Do That, where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. So today we are modifying Tahir's favorite recipe. So Tahir, tell me, what are some of your favorite dishes?
Oh, man. First and foremost, a big one too, grilled portobello mushroom steak, seasoned to the gods. That right there, and I know people are like, oh, you just saying that because you're on the Ozempic and all that. So what? You got to change your diet, and this is something I found is super good, super easy to make. It really was no different than like seasoning a steak. That is a go-to of mine. And the second one is I love a good Caesar salad. Like I will go to Fleming's just for their Caesar salad. I love the different approaches and different takes on how people make their Caesar. I like to see the different types of Parmesan, from grated to the flakes. Any meat goes great on it. You can get steak on it, you can get chicken on it, you can get salmon on it. I love it.
What do people usually get wrong when they are making the grilled portobello mushroom steaks or the Caesar salad? What do they usually get wrong?
With the mushroom steak, it's all about the seasoning. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And also, if you marinate it, all that type of stuff. Not cooking it too long, but cooking it good enough to where it cuts through evenly, guts into your mouth, just buttery, right? With the Caesar salad, not enough cheese or adding too much stuff. A Caesar salad don't need a whole lot of stuff. You need the lettuce, you need the cheese, you need the dressing. The meat is always optional. But that 3, I don't even need croutons. I don't even do the croutons. Those 3 things right there, if you got quality ingredients with that, solid. That's all you need.
Okay. And you mentioned the toppings. What do you love about the mushroom steak? Just that it's like, what is it that does it just remind you of steak and it fulfills that taste?
Yeah, it does that. And also, like, with eating cleaner, and even though I'm on a heavy protein diet, I'm trying to be mindful of how much red meat I put in my body, how much meat I put in my body, how long each different meat family takes to be processed and actually goes through your body. And so this gives me that, meat image and trickery without adding another day of keeping beef in my body. So this is just a good alternative to, like, just, keeping forward with that healthy momentum.
Awesome. And how do you think I will do?
I'm hoping very well, Shondalia, because if this is one of my favorite things and you do this bad, it has the potential to damage our friendship.
I'm going to kill it, baby. I got you.
Listen, this would be the equivalent of you telling me, hey, I'm going to bring the kid over just to stop by. And I'm
like, that's okay. No, we good.
I'm actually about to go to Mars real quick. I'm about to drive over to Mars. It's equivalent of that for me, man. I can't do it.
We'll be right back with Shondalia's Inside Scoop after this month's There's Another Way to Do That cooking segment. Let's get into it. Tahir loves mushroom steaks. I don't mind mushroom steaks, but I don't really make them. So I decided to make my take on mushroom steaks. Let's get into that. All right, I have had those mushroom steaks sitting for a while. So I hope that they are okay. It might be too much marinade, but I don't know. Can you ever do too much? As long as you don't put too much season after it. Oh, I just thought about it. I want to use... We're going to put that right back on there because I cleaned this counter. That's when you know it's good. When you start dancing. This is Shondalia's Inside Scoop, where my life is a trivia question. You've heard of food trivia, but this gets personal. Let me see if you know what's true.
Okay.
All right, the game is simple. I'll ask you 3 questions in regards to my life and health and wellness, and you'll let me know how well you know me based on how you answer. So let's get into that. All right, Tahir, you ready for this?
Let's go.
All right, so question number 1. In honor of May 4th, Star Wars Day, what food would I eat at a May the 4th be with you party? A, lightsaber pretzels. B, blue milk, which you can see at Disney. C, Baby Yoda deviled eggs. Or D, mini TIE fighter pastries.
Well, I'm pretty sure you have a gluten allergy, so you can't do the pastry or the pretzel, because pretzel would be gluten as well. And I don't think you do dairy, so that would only leave the deviled eggs.
You are correct! It is C, Baby Yoda deviled eggs.
Process of elimination, baby.
And I actually have my Baby Yoda ring.
You got the ring, the child.
I got my Baby Yoda ring.
Let's go.
I love Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, you're doing great. Question number 2. I have to stay away from most Mexican food due to my restrictions. What was my favorite Cinco de Mayo food? A, tacos. B, margaritas. C, chips, salsa, and guac. Or D, all the above.
So, are we referring to before you found out about your condition?
Yes, it's what was my favorite Cinco de Mayo food?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you liked all of it. You know what I'm saying? But I know you didn't like the chips, guac, the salsa if it was a buffet style. So as long as it was brought to your table, no one else touched it or had access to it, then I think you would have been fine with that. And who doesn't love a good margarita? right? Like, come on, let's be honest.
I love
and tacos is everything. That taco Tuesday. I do not go like tacos.
I love it. So what is your answer?
D, all of the above.
Hey, you are correct. D is the correct answer. I was eating all that shit.
Come on, man. Come on.
I love it. Oh, I love it. And all the reasons too, actually.
Come on.
Come on. Ooh, okay. Question number 3. You're doing so great for the winning answer. Which one of these dishes did I not make during season 1 of my There's Another Way to Do That cooking segment? A, baked zucchini bites. B, grilled apple ginger pork chops. C, Cornish hens. Or D, bison Buddha bowl. Which one did I not make during the first season of There's Another Way to Do That? I can read them off again.
I feel like you would do a Cornish hen, especially since you do eat meat. But, I mean, I'm sure there's another way to do that. But it's a Cornish hen. It's not a whole lot that you have to change with that. With the zucchini, you might have to do something differently based on... Wait, what's the zucchini? It's squash, so it would be starch. It's not?
No, it's not. It's not starch.
Okay.
Zucchini is a vegetable.
Okay. So you should be fine doing that one the regular way and the Cornish hen. The other two you said were...
A B was grilled apple ginger pork chops.
Okay, so I think that might be something that you made because maybe you didn't do regular pork chops, but like who would want a grilled apple pork chop unless it's grilled apples on the pork chops? Is it pork chops with that or is it just regular apples? Okay. And then the last one was what?
Bison Buddha bowl.
Now what's a Buddha bowl? I can't effectively answer if I don't know what that one is.
Bison in it, berry mix, wild rice, spinach, walnuts, butternut squash, mushrooms, and sweet potato.
Feel like you can cook all of that too. Bison. You saying like you like nuts too, you like almonds too, so you can eat that. Just had you can have squash, but you didn't.
But what didn't I make on There's Another Way to Do That?
Okay. I don't think you made the Cornish hens. And the only reason I say that is because that's not something that is... Well, you know what? People just don't be making Cornish hens unless it's the holiday. So you could have made that, but why would you need to make that? Because it's not like you had to do anything different, I feel like.
Well, There's Another Way to Do That is just to give you an idea of what it is. There's Another Way to Do That is not stuff that I can't eat. It's just me cooking it a different way because most of the time when I have it out, I can't eat it the way that they prepare it.
Okay.
So I'll give you a little help.
Okay, so if you was me, you would say what? Sometimes
you can't cheat. You can't cheat. You are so close, though. You're close. Think about it again with that information.
Okay. So we got the grilled apple pork chops. We got the Cornish hens.
So let's go in order. Bowl. A is baked zucchini bites. B is grilled apple ginger pork chops. C is Cornish hens. And D is bison Buddha bowl. Which one did I not make on There's Another Way to Do That season 1?
See the B or C. I think I gotta go with B. I think it's the grilled pork chop, apple pork chop, steaks, salad. Oof, souffle.
You are incorrect to hear. I made that. Those are some good dishes. I made A, the baked zucchini bites, B, the grilled apple ginger pork chops, and C, the Cornish hens, because people don't usually make it. I made it around a holiday. That was a holiday dish. I have not made bison Buddha bowl, but I would like to.
Damn.
You were so close.
I thought bison Buddha bowl was one of the things where I just went hip to it because I was like, what the fuck is the bison Buddha bowl?
You had it right the first time you thought about it. I was like, oh, he about to get it.
Well, you know what? Jordan missed from the free throw line sometimes too. Can't win them all, baby. Yeah, try my best.
You did great. Oh no, Tahir was not ready to take a bite out of my story, but he did good. He was so close. I wanted him to win. All his logic was so correct, but Better luck next time. Thanks for checking out Shondalia's Inside Scoop. Let's wrap this thing up. I hope this episode taught you something new about Tahir Moore, in addition to learning so much about diverticulitis and Ozempic and just overall changing your diet and lifestyle. It was a lot of information. And we just want to remember, take care of your body so it can take care of you, or you're going to be dealing with a lot of shit. Tahir, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's always a great time. Always a great time.
Yes. Tell everybody where they can find you.
On all platforms, it's at Tahir Moore. My Facebook is the Tahir Moore because at Tahir Moore is my personal page. So, and I never check either one of them, to be honest with you. I just post on them. But at Tahir Moore on all platforms. The website should be up by now, and that's probably tahirmoore.com as well. So I'm pretty easy to find. I'm out here.
Hey, we out here in the streets. And you can check them out on Damn Internet You Scary podcast. Mm-hmm. And do you have another one?
Yeah, High in the Sky. You can also check out Wording is Hard. This is one of my other shows. There's a ton of shows. If you just go into to hear more on YouTube, it'll pull up all my shows and all the things available. So you check it all out right there.
Awesome. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This has been I Can't Eat Shit podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I truly appreciate you all. If you like what you saw and or heard today, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. I Can't Eat Shit podcast on YouTube or wherever you stream your podcast. If you watch me, there's bonus material. There's another way to do that. My full cooking segment where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. They're oh so good, so make sure you check them out. You can also check me out on Instagram at I Can't Eat Shit Podcast or at Shondalia White. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I Can't Eat Shit! I Can't Eat Shit Podcast is not a replacement for a medical professional. If you need help, seek out a trained medical professional, nutritionist, or therapist to help you with your specific needs.